I'm going to prove to you that the PS5 Pro will be released this year, specifically between October and November 2024. By the end of this video, I aim to leave no room for doubt in your mind. Now, before any accusations of clickbait arise, I implore you, watch the entire video, and then we can continue the debate in the comments. I'll try to keep it short, I promise. First, let's establish some credentials. Last year, I accurately predicted that a PS5 Slim or revised model would be announced between September and November. And here we are today with my new PS5 Slim sitting right next to my TV. Now, about my research sources. There's one name I need to mention, Tom Henderson. Who is he? He's the mind behind GamingInsider.com and a notable figure in the gaming leak and rumor scene. He accurately predicted the PS Portal before anyone else, detailing its features and release, which turned out to be spot on. Henderson also provided comprehensive information about the new PS5 revised model before its launch, which materialized just as he described. But it's not just Henderson we're looking at. Jeff Grubb, Tom's Guide, Tez2, and Red Gaming Tech are also part of this mix. These individuals have established a strong track record in the gaming community for their reliable leaks and rumors. Their consistent accuracy in predicting gaming developments has made them trusted sources within the industry. I've always provided sources and documented proof to back up my research, sometimes even linking to legal documents for verification. Yet many people just watch a minute of these videos and dismiss them as clickbait. What can you do, right? Alright, enough of my ranting. Let's dive deep into the specifics of the PS5 Pro's release window and what we can expect. Recently, a significant leak pointed toward a September 2024 release, as confirmed by Jeff Grubb on his podcast. Adding to this, Tom Henderson has consistently suggested a November 2024 launch for the PS5 Pro. These predictions are supported by other sources indicating that a 2024 release date is highly probable. Furthermore, there are claims that the PS5 Pro and the Nintendo Switch 2 might share a launch window. To add fuel to the fire, a well-known data miner and Rockstar Games insider, Tez2, has recently shared some intriguing information on the GTA forums. According to Tez2, new mid-gen upgrade development kits, presumably for the PS5 Pro and a new Xbox Series X, are already in the hands of developers. Responding to a query on the forum, he stated, "Most AAA studios should have received the dev kits of mid-life upgrades, or should receive them by the start of the new year." This statement suggests that major game studios are already gearing up for the next phase of console gaming. Tez2's remarks carry significant weight, especially since he doubled down on his claims. When pressed further, he confirmed with a definitive, for sure, that his information was based on concrete details rather than mere speculation. Let's move on to the specs. Sony is reportedly developing proprietary hardware and software for frame generation technology, akin to NVIDIA's DLSS. This new system from Sony could potentially boost frame rates by up to 50%. Utilizing hardware-accelerated machine learning, it aims to generate additional frames and enhance smoothness. If we take this potential increase into account based on the 4K 60 FPS capabilities of the current PS5, we might see the PS5 Pro reaching up to 120 FPS. But why is Sony developing its own version of this tech instead of using AMD's FSR3, given that the console runs on AMD Silicon? The answer lies in the operating systems. The Xbox Series X runs a version of Windows with DirectX 12, which supports asynchronous workload processing for optimal performance. The PS5, however, operates on a Linux-based OS, which would require running these processes serially. This limitation would significantly impact performance, making it logical for Sony to create its own solution to bypass this bottleneck. Now, if we take a closer look, there's a lot of ambiguity and varied information out there. I've discussed this topic in multiple videos, but each time a new leak or article surfaces about the PS5 Pro's specifications, there seems to be a different story. Sometimes the leaks suggest it's equipped with RDNA 2, other times RDNA 3. In some instances, there are mentions of an alternative FSR technology, and then there are times when we hear about a separate processor dedicated solely to ray tracing. While all these features sound impressive, we need to remember the importance of compatibility. A drastic change in the CPU and GPU architecture could complicate the compatibility with the standard PS5. So, my take is that the PS5 Pro might stick with RDNA 2. The idea of a special dedicated ray tracing GPU is fascinating, but whether it's a practical and feasible addition is something we'll have to wait and see. So here's what else I found out. We all know the PS5 Pro has a codename, Trinity. Rumors suggest that Trinity stands for 3 significant improvements combining together. The first one is faster storage, then there's next-gen upscaling, and finally, dedicated ray tracing processing. All of this sounds really cool. Honestly, I have no complaints about the current SSD speeds on the PS5, but hey, more speed, I'll definitely take it. Though what I'd really prefer is more storage space. I mean, give me 8 terabytes. These gameplay videos occupy a ton of space, and I need ample storage to store and showcase it for your viewing pleasure. What really needs to go away, in my opinion, is pop-in. It's one of the most immersion-breaking elements in video games today. I want to see better texture filtering. I don't want to see blurry textures just 5 meters away from my character. If the PS5 Pro can fix this and bring in these enhancements, we'll truly have a next-gen console on our hands. Oh yeah, and 30 FPS should be a mortal sin on the PS5 Pro. Let's delve into the pricing. As I've mentioned before, and it bears repeating, it won't come cheap. We're dealing with high inflation rates, and contrary to expectations, the revised PS5 model hit the market at a higher price point than anticipated. Retail prices for the various models and bundles are hovering between $450 and $500. However, during my research, I was taken aback to discover that some retail stores are even pricing the revised PS5 model as high as $700 to $750. So when it comes to the Pro, I think we need to adjust our expectations. We're not in 2016 anymore, when the PS4 Pro launched at $399. It's a tough pill to swallow, I know. Believe me, I'm not thrilled about it either. But remember, I'm just the messenger here, reflecting on the market trends and economic conditions that are influencing these prices. The days of more affordable mid-gen upgrades seem to be behind us, and with the PS5 Pro, we might have to brace ourselves for a higher price tag. As for the appearance, there are some aspects we can be fairly certain about. A key feature we expect to see is a detachable disk drive. This seems to be the direction Sony is heading in, reflecting a more modular approach to console design. As for the overall look of the PS5 Pro, I anticipate it will bear a strong resemblance to the current version in terms of its aesthetic. However, in terms of size, it's likely to mirror the dimensions of the previous PS5 model. But there's another question on everyone's mind. Do we really need a PS5 Pro? Here's a video on this topic.
Stop moving, Miss Green!